Caro Kirsch podcast. My name is Caro and welcome to another video. I'm super excited. This is 2 minutes after I finished the last episode, but as I mentioned there, this is gonna be a bit of a vlog style video because I've decided to follow along Jessie Marie from Jessie Marie Does Stuff in her Great British Bake Off a challenge or stitching a game where you stitch a set amount of stitches for things that happen during each episode. The episodes get released weekly every Friday. Today is Friday and I just recorded, sorry, my son is back here, so I'll try to be quick in this intro section. But yeah, I just finished my last episode, so I finished all my stitching for the first week of Great British Bake Off, but I already watched the second episode, so I'll know what my projects are for the upcoming week. So my plan is to show you the 4 projects that got called, and hopefully next Friday I'll show you what I've accomplished, or maybe I'll do a little bit over the top once I'm done. Look, this is where I got, this is how many stitches I did, and this is where I'm gonna continue. We'll see about that, but anyways, next Friday I'll probably give you another preview of what I'll be stitching on in the next week, and then I guess after 4 weeks I'll do a little bit of a wrap-up video and just release it as a normal episode, but in this vlog style thing. Okay, I'm nearly done. Yes? She says, I already said that in the last episode and now I'm sitting here again, but we had a bit of a break of video things, so we could tend to some needs if you remember from last time. Anyways, so let me tell you. So in this episode, and I'm not going to spoil the episode, I'm not even going to tell you the people's names, I'm just going to say, this is my project for the handshake. This is my project for the eliminated person. Okay, so the 4 things that happened, or actually it's 5 things that happened, but 2 things happened to one project. But let's start maybe with the last in technical. So the last in technical was a person that is assigned to my Ragnarok sampler, long dog sampler. So this is Ragnarok. It's a piece by Long Dog Sampler. It's the only one I have going and I desperately need some progress in this, so that is good. And it's only the last in technical, so we'll definitely be seeing this project again. But yeah, I'll have to stitch 275 stitches in the next week on this. No. Nee, jetzt gerade nicht, Hase, ja? Gleich. And this is where I'm at. So I guess we'll be seeing this in 275 stitches. The first in technical project, and for those of you who don't know, maybe I should recap that just a little bit. So the show, you basically, they cook on a weekend, 2 days, and the first day they have 2 bakes. One is their signature bake, which is something they prepared, and they always have like a theme for the week. Like this week was, what was it, biscuit week, I think. So they make biscuits for their signature, a recipe they know, and then they do a technical where they don't know what they're making, so they get something like with very bare minimum instructions and have to try to come as close to as what they're supposed to. So that's the technical where they're getting rated blind, and that's where the first and the last in technical gets into. And then on the last day, they do a, or what's it called? Center stage? No, it's called something else. I'm sorry, I'm fairly new to the whole Great British Bake Off show. I like baking shows though, but I haven't watched this one before. But I was like, ooh, I like baking shows. I'll try this one. And so far I'm enjoying it. It's fun. Good fun. I like British humor. But anyways, and after that last challenge, there's 3 challenges basically. They vote for a star baker, the person who did the best on the weekend, and obviously the one who did the least well. And then in between all these 3 challenges, there's this one judge who sometimes gives handshakes. And that just gives extra stitches. So if somebody gets a handshake, right now it is set to 500. That's the one thing I'm going to make flexible. We have one handshake happening this week. If it gets more than that, I might reduce the amount of numbers, stitches I'll need to do. Right now it's 500. If it gets 2 handshakes or even 3 handshakes in one episode, I'll probably reduce it because then I won't manage. But anyways, just a quick introduction to the show. So the first and technical, getting 550 stitches is gonna be the amazing Loon, which already got a bunch of stitches in the last week. And I'm gonna be working some more, so yay, I'm excited. I'll probably continue working in the background. I'm quite content filling that in right now. We'll see where I am with my hoop situation. I still got my hole here from last time, my 2 nerd troops, so I'll have to find 2 projects that get the hoop. But I'm actually stitching the background in hand, so I'm good if that one doesn't get a hoop right now. And then what shall we do? The eliminated stitcher, he gets, or she, I don't even know, it doesn't matter. I don't want to spoil anything, but that project gets 500 stitches, and that is the Hanged Man. So I'll be only stitching once on this, but 500 stitches is actually quite a bit on this project. So the Hanged Man is part of the Witchy Stitcher Tarot series, Nostalgic Tarot, where I did a color conversion. I just basically switched some pinks to blues. This is what it's going to be looking like in the end, and this is where I'm at currently. Yeah, I haven't touched this since my summer vacation. I don't know, haven't been drawn to it, I guess. But I'm excited to get 500 stitches in, and I'm okay putting it away after that too, I think. I'm not too immediate in having to stitch on this. So far, nothing has been eliminated where I'm like super sad. No, I want to work on that. So it would be devastating if my pumpkin spice cottage piece gets eliminated. But it's not being pulled yet. So I don't know how I feel about that yet. But I hope we're going to get some stitches in. But anyways, and the last project that I have a preview for you guys actually got a handshake and was Star Baker. So I'm expecting lots from this person, and hence this project will get a lot of stitches, and I did spoil that a little bit in the last episode. It's gonna be my new start Snow Leopard, charted by Paint Free Crafts, and the photograph is actually from George Wildlife Art. He's calling himself Wildlife Art. Yeah. So maybe it is an artwork. I'll have to look up this artist. I don't know. I feel like it's a photograph, but maybe it is actually painted. It's just super high realism or something. Possible. I have to look that up. But anyways, so let me show you where I'm at with this project. This is probably gonna be one. Well, I'll just show you the progress top down because I don't want to be taking this out of the stand all the time. But yeah, so this is where I'm here. And I guess I'll see you on Friday and see what I got up to. And if I managed to stitch all my stitches. I haven't summed it all up. Let me do that real quick. So I think it's 2,525. Quick head calculation. I might be wrong, but somewhere around that. I don't know if I can get that done in 1 week, honestly. We're gonna see. Talk soon. I'm back with a little update. It's now the next Friday as promised, and I want to show you what I accomplished. So the 4 projects I had to work on, I basically started on the project that needed the least amount of stitches, which was the person that got last in technical and the assigned projects to that. And that is my Ragnarok piece, the Long Dog Sampler. And I owed this project 275 stitches, and I added 314. And this is where the full thing is. And now let me show you where I actually worked. on the elephant and the flag, and I think a little bit of the sun there. So that's what I did on this one. So, yay. It's so weird not telling you like all the info, but I feel like I already told you like 30 seconds ago in the last clip, but I don't really remember because it's been a week. So bear with me for the awkwardness. The next highest number of stitches I needed to do was for my hanged man piece. That was 500 stitches for the eliminated player. So this is going to be the last time you'll be seeing this project, at least as part of the Great British Bake Off. This is what it'll look like. And this is where I am. So I'm really excited about this one. I started on the outline of the bat. I've since completed that color actually. I already did the 10 stitches I needed to do for the little rainbow border, and I started filling in off the bat. So good progress here. Again, I owed this project 500 stitches, and I actually did 501 because that's just how it happened. Finishing my thread, I think I was working on this purple here. So yay, pretty excited about this. And last time, again, that you're gonna be seeing this as part of this little stitching challenge. The next project I decided to work on was actually the one where I need to put in the most stitches because that person got the handshake, and then it also became Star Baker of the episode. So I'm owing it 500 for the handshake and 700 for the Star Baker. And I'm not done with those, but I'll show you anyways. And I have it now on the stand. But yeah, the project I'm talking about is my snow leopard. And as you can see, I'm still trying. With the parking, I haven't given up just yet. But yeah, you can definitely some fur texture now. I think it's looking pretty cool. I've since completed another diagonal. I'm very close to completing the next one. And I think before I'm done with the stitches here, I'll probably complete 2 more diagonals for this week. I haven't really decided on how I'm going to deal with this. I obviously still have all of today that I'm counting in my head. I can stitch on the stitches I'm owing for this past week, but I'm not gonna get all the stitches done because yeah, I didn't really tell you. I did 329 since last time. So I haven't even completed one of the owed stitches, let alone the 700 I'm still owing it for the Star Baker. But I'm working on it, and yeah, still giving it a go with the diagonals. Haven't given up the diagonals and the parking. But man, but I've been fighting with it. Let's put it that way. And the other project I'm owing stitches towards for the first and technical 550 stitches is my loon. And how many stitches did I put in here? Because I'm also not quite done with that, but I'm pretty close, although pretty close. I did 326 stitches on this. And I'm just working on the background, and since now I'm kind of running out of time a little bit, I decided to tackle this big area here because this is all going to be filled in with 939. So you can see that's what I'm working on. Just doing column by column, filling the 939 and hoping to get stitches quickly. So yay. That's what I did. And yeah, again, not done with it, so I'll probably show you this project and the snow leopard next Friday again. But yeah, the new show has aired, and I actually already watched that yesterday, I think. I did end up watching the one with ads and not wait for, because originally I was planning to go on a trip for the weekend, but that has been canceled. But that's why I watched yesterday, so I knew which projects to bring. But now I don't need to bring any projects because I'll just be here at home stitching, which is good because then I can then have a chance to catch up this weekend. But yeah, so the good thing is though, these two projects, even though I'm still owing some stitches, have not been called for next week. So for next week, there's actually going to be only 2 projects that I need to put stitches in. And, ooh, I don't have my cheat sheet here. But I remember, because the person that got eliminated is the one assigned to my Ragnarok. So I'll be putting some more stitches into here because that person got last in technical and also got eliminated. So that person had a bad week. So I'll be putting in, what, 500 for the elimination, and then the last in technical, I guess, is, I don't know, 250 or something. So that's what I'll be putting into this, which I'm glad because this goes quick. I'm all about getting quick stitches now, I'm realizing, because now I'm trying to get some certain numbers. So you'll be seeing this project again. And the other project for the person that had a very good week was the first in technical and also the Star Baker. And that was a new person, which is assigned to my Witcher piece. So I have not worked on this since you've last seen it, but just so you know where I'm at. And I need to put in 700 stitches for the Star Baker and then 500, I think, for the first and technical. Again, I don't have my cheat sheet, so, but yes, this is where I am. And let's see where I'm going to be next Friday. Hey guys, so let me just quickly show you actually my new master set. So I told you I would show you once I actually have it set up. There is a few improvements I'm going to do, but it's working for now. So these are these laminated printouts that I have, right? And I actually ended up putting my little Velcro strip on most of them anyways, because I already have like started colors. But yeah, it's just all the DMC colors sorted by DMC number, and I can just flip through and search for my number and find my color here, and I just have them on there like floss drops, so I can take my needle and pull out a little thread, and that's great, and it's working really, really well. And I actually have them protected in this little bag. I don't know if you guys remember, I had like a yarn advent in this bag, so I never really knew what to do. And I have this on what's this, a zip tie, so they're nice and loose, and I can kind of flip this open and easily get to my threads, because I had this on like a metal ring before, but then this was quite tight and it was actually quite hard to pull some thread out. So this is working better with a little bit of a looser thing. Maybe I'll find something a little nicer than the zip tie, but for now the zip tie works. I have that through the drawstring, so it's always attached to this bag. Actually, when I put it away, I can just kind of open it up and fold this in like this. And since it's all connected to the drawstring, I can just kind of let it fall through and close it, and all my thread is nicely put away. And then when I start stitching again, I can just kind of flip this back out. Sorry, it's a little awkward, the angle here. And I can start stitching again. But the one thing I realized quite quickly, and what I want to do again, I printed these ones out again, because what I end up doing, I actually put it on my scroll frame here anyways, like this. So I use these little magnetic thingies and just hook this around at the bottom too, and this sits like here, and then I can flip it like this. But if I have it like this, then the numbers are actually on its head. So I've printed this out just the other way around, and I actually figured out a super easy way to hole punch this. So that's a little bit improved, but other than that, the system will be the same. I just haven't set it up yet. But yeah, and then the thread's kind of falling over that side and is not crowding my stitching space over here. So yay, that's my new master set, and it's working really well, and I'm like super excited about this. Yay! And one thing I'm doing to also just keep the bulk down and also to just save time, honestly, in setting this up, I'm only putting the colors that I actually have in my projects. And another thing, in my last episode, I actually said I would do this for the CXC, because most of my new projects, I'll start with a CXC, but I was totally just mindless and wanted to set it up for this project here. And this one, as I mentioned, I'm exclusively stitching with a DMC. So I actually just put all the DMC for this project on here. And then I was like, oh no. And then I added my Pumpkin Spice Cottage, because since that is a kit from Gecko Rouge, that one is also exclusively DMC. So I actually have those two projects on here. And as you can see, there's a bunch of colors missing because those are just not in either one of those projects. So I think that's how I'll go forward, though, also with my CXC kit, that I'll just put on the colors that I'll actually need, and that way this kind of stays kind of small and doesn't get too bulky, and I don't kind of ruin thread that I'm actually not even using. And then I'll just add colors as I need them, or maybe I'll take colors out as I don't need them anymore. Although I don't know how likely it is that I'll actually take colors out once I'm done with the project, because I would actually have to go through all the projects that are on here to figure out which ones I don't need. So probably I won't. I guess at some point all the colors will be on here if I'm stitching enough projects with this. But starting this, I'm not gonna bother with the colors I'm not actually using. Hey, I'm back. Today is Friday the 26th of September, and I'm happy to report I did all my stitches that I needed to do. So last Friday I was still owing some stitches for the week before. So let's look at those two projects that I still had to put stitches in, and I'll just show you the big clunky one first, because that's just blocking the entire table. And because I'm not taking off the stand. I just keep it like this and put it in this room. But yeah, so I worked some more on Snow Leopard. I actually added 907 stitches. I owed, I think, 1,200 stitches. And with the stitches I already did last time, I completed that goal. And look at this! We're starting to see some spots. I think this is really cool. And yeah, you'll notice something. I stopped doing the diagonals, or more importantly, the parking. But actually, I think the bigger reason for me to stop the parking was the diagonals. I was just so disoriented on where the stitches needed to go. I don't know if it was in Saga, because you can show these diagonal lines on the fabric, on the app, but you obviously don't have them on the fabric. So I was taking so long to find where I actually needed to put my stitch. So eventually I just decided to stitch in all the loose threads, and now I'm making progress so much faster. So I'm really happy where this one got. And I'm excited for this project to come up next. But it's not coming up for the coming week, but the player's still in. So we'll definitely see this one as part of the game. But yeah, not next week. But I'm excited that I got the stitches done, because 1,200 was quite a lot that I needed to do. The other project I was still owing stitches is my loon. And I also completed those. Sorry, my son is next door. I should probably close that door. We'll try to get through this. And yeah, so I added to the loom, not that much. I wasn't owing that much. I needed to do 550 stitches, and I added 242 since last time, which again, in addition with the stitches I already did, got to me. And I just continued filling in that 939 area. Nothing super exciting, but yes, I completed the goal, the challenge. the stitches I owed, whatever you want to say. So yay, awesome. And then we're on to, so that was biscuit week, and now we're on to bread week. So week 3. I only needed to put in stitches for 2 projects, and the first project I needed to put in stitches was in my Ragnarok piece. That one I needed to put in 750 stitches for the last in technical, and also then the eliminated player. So this is the last time this project is coming up within this game. And I added 755 stitches. Hang on, where are we? Down here. So I worked on the horse. I think I started somewhere here and stitched down the tail and started just outlining the horse that I can eventually do some filling in. But I realized actually this is within the horse. You have, hang on, I can show you on the mock-up. Within the horse you have the 2 customizable things. You have on its bum kind of your initials if you choose so, and then also there is the year number. I think the year number, I'll just stitch the 202 and then I hope I'll finish this before 2030. And yeah, the initials I kind of just want to rechart and then re-import into Saga, and then it's just easier to stitch and I don't need to kind of change on the fly. I feel like that's just asking for disaster and mistakes to happen. Actually the second initial, the L is correct, but my first name doesn't start with a J, it starts with a K, so I'll need to change that into a K. But yeah, so did I say I added 755 stitches, and that will be it for this project. And the second project I needed to put in stitches, and I needed to put in the most stitches. I also owed 1,200 stitches, once for the Star Baker and once for the first in technical, was my Witcher piece. Sorry. Which I virtually just finished stitching all the stitches that I owed, and here's where we are. Oh, we're definitely moving forward. It's always, like, for me, looking in the screen of the camera is definitely like zooming out, and it's looking so good. So yeah, we're definitely filling in the page. I'm still not done with that single page I'm working on, even though I have quite a bit done on this piece. But yeah, definitely the forehead is filling out. Like, I think the page actually like kind of ends kind of in the middle of his eyebrows. But we're getting some sword. This is, I realized I never really explained what you're actually seeing here, but the sword is kind of going here, and I don't know what that piece is called. Is that the pommel, or is that where you grip the sword? I don't know. This guard piece here is kind of across his forehead, and then you definitely see that scar that's over his eye, and this will eventually become the hand that is gripping the sword. So yay, pretty excited. I technically already stitched a little bit more, but I'm already stitching for next week because this project is coming up again. So just for the sake of last week, I did exactly 1,200 1,200 stitches. But you're seeing, I think 95 more or something like that. So I already started putting in the rest of the thread that I finished just before starting this video for the next goal, because I already watched the next episode and hence I know what stitches I need to do, and I need a stitch for 3 projects. So those 3 projects are Witcher, which I'm actually owing, again, a lot of stitches. It's 700 plus 450, so 1,150 stitches. So we're gonna see a nice jump in this project again. The other project, and those are 2 new projects we haven't seen within the challenge yet, which makes me very excited, is the A Bird's Summer. And this is for the eliminated player. So I owe 500 stitches. This is a Bird Summer, which is a Luca S kit that I started last spring and haven't really worked on a whole lot. So I am excited to work on this, but I guess I'm also not too sad. I don't know, maybe I'm a little bit sad that this one is getting eliminated, because so far this challenge is, I'm sticking to it. So it would force me to stitch on this, and now I only need to put in 500 stitches, but I'm excited that I put in 500 stitches. And yeah, let me just show you where I'm at. I'm stitching this on with all the kit materials. This is where I am. I kind of started in the middle, which was this rose, and then was working my way all the way to the corner, the bottom left corner that is, and then now I'm kind of filling in from the bottom, working on some leaves and stuff, but I have no idea what I'll work on when I sit down to do this. This might actually be the project I pick up first, because again, I just put down Witcher, and the way I've actually been doing it, I was kind of working my way up from least owed stitches to most owed stitches, just so I would work on all the projects, and then if I don't manage some stitches, it'll be the project with the most stitches, kind of thing. Does that make sense? So yeah, that's that. And the last project that I'll be working on in the following week is Kokomo, and this one is only owed 225 stitches. But I'm still excited to work on this because I'll be trying my treasure braid. So last episode I had in my haul the treasure braid, and I think I'm just gonna give it a go. I don't see why this wouldn't work, and I definitely, there's some stitches missing actually on my first page, so I can try and see if this works and report back. And I really hope at the end of the week I'll get some time and actually get to stitch a little bit more on this project, because yeah, I only owe 225 stitches, so we'll see about that. But yeah, that's all the projects. Oh, hang on. This is what the project will look like in the end. You haven't seen that in this episode. It's Kokomo by Margaret Morales, charted by Heaven and Earth Design. And I'm stitching that on 32 count 1/110 stitch with a CXC and some treasure braid. But yeah, that's actually all I meant to show. No, actually, hang on. There's one more thing. So I've already shown you, I'll probably inserted my little clip of showing you my new master set setup. So I have this, and I actually kept it the way it is. I've been stitching with this and it's working really well. And honestly, yeah, the numbers are on their heads, but I can still read them, so it's fine. So I've been enjoying stitching with this, and yeah, haven't really changed it since. But I've shown you that I already started making the improved version, but I ended up just putting my CXC on here, and that's just going to be my second master set. I'm not going to bother redoing the DMC just to have this kind of numbers the other way around. Maybe one day if I'm like super bored, but I'm done making these kits. So I have a second one, a second bag, second kit, and this is with all my CXC yarn thread. And yeah, I have my Kokomo piece on here and the Witcher piece, because those are the only two that I'm exclusively stitching with CXC, I think. I hope I'm not forgetting anything, but all the other projects I mix floss, so I keep those on their separate floss cards just to not get too confused. And I think that would be a hassle, having to swap back and forth between those two master sets. But yeah, I'm really, really happy with how this is like stowing away, and that way my floss won't get like super dusty. I do pull out everything though while I'm stitching, because having it in the bag, I feel like it just adds enough pressure that it's just harder to pull out the thread. It's a little bit like braiding the thread, so the more air they have, the easier it is to pull out the thread. That is one thing that I'll see how it goes with time, because since here, look, I have a have a trial card that I messed up. But they're obviously quite thin, so you pull the thread along quite the sharp corner here. So I hope I won't get problems with like fraying and things like that. But so far so good. And in the end, you only pull each thread through once. So if it hasn't created a problem yet, maybe it won't. But that is something I'm eyeing, looking at and being like, I really hope this is gonna go well. But yay, super excited with this one. And I actually haven't stitched with my CXC one, but I'll do that probably tonight. Although maybe not, because I'm going to be using the treasure braid, so who knows. But anyways, stop the rambling, and I guess I'll see you guys next week. Okay. Hey, I'm back, and today is Wednesday. Actually, we're 2 days early because, as you might hear, I'm sick, so I'm at home. But that actually gave me quite a bit of time to stitch, which was nice. I mean, for 2 days I couldn't really do anything, but since then I felt a little bit better. So yeah, I'm sorry if you're with weird voices, but that's all I got today. And yeah, I wanted to check in one last time to wrap this little video up and show you what I've worked on for the episode 4 of the Great British Bake Off. And I also give you a preview for what I'll be stitching on. Sorry, I'm gonna need a drink. I've set myself up with some tea here. Ooh, but it's still quite hot. Actually, it doesn't taste like much yet because I just poured it over. I actually got myself an advent calendar because they're already out. And I decided to drink it right now because I actually never finish this at work, because I usually bring these at work and have a tea each day. It's kind of nice. But yeah, you obviously usually go on vacation like earlier, and so you never make it to door number 24. And also then you forget sometimes, so I figured I'll drink it over the month of October and hopefully finish this, and then I can always get another one for December if I would like to. But yeah, they're really, really nice. They're different teas every day, and they have this fun little door, so it's cute. It's cute. So I'm celebrating Christmas a little bit early. And this year I went for the good one. Last year I went, I don't know if you know this brand, Puka. They're like really fancy teas. And they had also an advent calendar, and it looked super nice. So I fell into the trap of buying the pretty one, even though they also had this one. And yeah, I just don't like the Puka teas because they're all like chai, and I'm really not a big fan of chai teas. So I actually still have some of those teas left over from last year. So this year I went with this one, and this is cute, so no shame. Okay, let me have another sip and then get back to topic, shall we? Ooh, do you know what this one's called? It's actually called pumpkin spice. I was happy when I saw that one. Anyways, but I think it still needs to steep a little bit longer. Anyways, so episode 4. Let me go back. So we had 3 projects to stitch on, and I'll start with the one with the least amount of stitches, and that was Kakomu. That was for Last and Technical, I believe, yeah. And I owed this project 225 stitches, and I added 263, and I started stitching with the treasure braid. So I just went with the treasure braid. And I don't know, you probably won't be able to tell. Maybe you can see glistening kind of here. That's where I probably put in the most. And it works. It's good. I mean, yeah, it's stitching with metallic threads. So, yay. But nothing terrible happened. No major fraying. I mean, I've listened to enough podcasts to know that you shouldn't cut your floss too long and stuff like that. Now I also have some water. I hope I don't spill all my things here. Now it's getting a little crowded on my table here. But yeah, back to Kakomu. So I added 263 stitches. I would have liked to stitch a little bit more. But yeah, I felt I needed to switch my projects to get all the stitches done that I needed. The next project I needed to stitch on was 500 stitches for the eliminated baker, which is actually my bird summer piece. And yeah, I was happy to pull this one out. And at first I was like, ooh, this is gonna take forever, because for some reason progress on this project felt very slow. But it actually was fine. So I added, how many did I add? 506 stitches. And this is where we're at. So I worked on mainly this leaf. I put in a lot. I finished up this leaf. I put a bit of a new pink into the rose. And yeah, I think that's mainly it. I think I worked also a little bit in this stuff. I messed up quite a bit in this piece. There were stitches here before that I had to rip out. I think you can still kind of see the shade of them. And I think these stitches are actually one too low too, but I'm going to try and fetch that. We'll see. I'll work over here and then my way down, because this is kind of just hanging in the air leaves. So I hope that'll be okay. But yeah, there's quite a bit of counting involved with these non-full coverage pieces, or more counting than is with the full coverage, where you have the grid. I was thinking of maybe gridding this with like thread or something, but I feel like I'm already pretty far into it. Maybe I'll just suffer through and hope I won't miscount too much. But yeah, stitching this on, what is this, 18 count? I think about this every single time. I think it's 18 count, Ada. I don't think I said that in the last segment, so I'll say it now. By Luca S. Kit. Yay! So that's the last time we'll see it as part of the bake-off, but that's okay. And the last piece, I put quite a bit of progress in because I owed 700 plus 450, so what, 1,150 stitches, and I didn't write down how many stitches I put in. Hang on, let me check that. Okay, I don't really know how many stitches I put in because I overstitched for the goal before and added, yeah, I didn't separate it out. But I put the stitches in that I needed. I can promise you that. I probably put in a little bit more, probably around 1,200. I'm guessing. But look at this. Oh, in the screen, I think I can definitely tell it's Henry Cavill now. I think the eyes are really coming in. We do have a page finished. This page is finally done. But as you can see, the page below is coming together now too. I started working on that, but just because of the colors, they all flowed down here anyway. So I was working basically on both pages at the same time. But yay, in the camera it definitely looks pretty good. Like in real life, the shadow here looks a little bit like dirt in his face right now. We're missing the transition between the super light colors of and to the black here. So yay, but I'm pretty excited about this piece, and yeah, we're probably gonna see some more stitches, at least for the elimination, but the player who's assigned to this project is obviously pretty good. They've become Star Baker twice already, so yay, I'm pretty excited about this piece and the progress we're getting, because I haven't really worked on this in a while, so I'm glad to see some progress in this piece. So yay. And that was all the stitching I did last week, or really over the weekend and the first 2 days. But yeah, one reason why I wanted to film today and also know the projects for next week is because we're going away over the weekend. And so we're already going to be away on Friday because that's a public holiday here in Germany. And yeah, so I wanted to watch the Bake Off already on Tuesday. So I watched it last night, and we got some perfect projects, or mainly one perfect project that I can bring over the weekend. So that aligned well. And I wanted to show you
those projects that we'll see the progress of though in the next episode. So yes, so episode 5 was a chocolate week, and we got 4 different projects that we're going to be seeing progress for. Hang on, let me resort this. So we have 4 projects, by the way, that we'll work on. And the first one I want to talk about is this one. And that's my pumpkin spice cottage piece. You know, I love this. This is a Gecko Rouge piece. The artwork's by Kate Brazier. And I started this back in March together with Anna from Alchemist Stitches. And here's where we're at. Yay, yay, yay. This piece is at, hang on. What's percentage? It's at 9.16%, and my goal was to get this pile of pumpkins done for the fall. And I mean, we have October, so I guess in my head I still have all of October to accomplish that goal. That would be great. So I guess I can definitely go straight in and try to finish those pumpkins, but I would like to also just finish the page I'm working on. So since I'm starting the stitches for this week early, I'm hoping I'll finish early, but I don't know. It's kind of a block in my head because I know I won't get as much done on the weekend as I usually do. And weekend is prime stitching time, obviously, because you can also sometimes stitch during the day a little bit more. What they usually don't get around to that during the week. But we'll see. I mean, I still have today and tomorrow during the day where I can get some more stitches done than usual. So we'll see about that. So, but yeah, I owe 400 stitches for this piece because this person got first in technical, and we have 8 players. By 50 stitches is 400. So the next piece I'll be talking about, I guess, is the 500 stitches because this person got a handshake. So I'm owing 500 stitches, and it's the piece on my scroll frame. And that is Snow Leopard by Pain Free Crafts. And this is where we're at. I stitched this on 25 count, 1/1 full cross, as you guys know. Same as Pumpkin Spice Cottage, by the way. And yeah, so I owe 500 stitches, which is great. I actually worked on this piece a tiny little bit since last time. I think I put around 100 stitches in, actually. But I don't want to flip it all around. This is a little bit awkward with the scroll frame. But as you can see, I just leave the feet on and I store it on the table back there. And that's okay. Okay, the next project we'll be working on, I guess it doesn't really matter which order. Let me show you. This is Kakomu. This person unfortunately got eliminated and also was last in technical. So we have to add 200 for the last in technical and 500 for the eliminated. So this is Kakomu. I've just shown you. Stitch this 32 count 1/1 tent with CXC and now a treasure braid. And yeah, that'll be the last stitches I'll put on that. But 700 stitches is a decent amount to finish this off. And another 700 stitches, and that's the project I'm planning on bringing on the weekend, will be worked into the Adjust Your Sails project, which this week was the Star Baker. So we haven't put any stitches into this as part of the game yet, but I actually worked on this on Sunday. I continued a little bit the water here. I think that was also around 130 stitches, if I remember correctly. So yeah, but I think I would like to work a little bit on the non-repetitive stitches. So maybe get a bit of this, there's like little houses on rocks here. Work on that, or maybe get some of this underwater, like there's some fish and I think a boat in the middle here. Like get some of that stitches in, because I know all the border stitching and the repetitive stuff I can always get done like kind of in between. So yeah, I would like to get some of the stitches in that are not, I mean, where I need the pattern basically, where I'll need to look at the pattern. But I have that pattern on my phone, which is also nice to bring. Good car stitching, I hope. We'll see. We'll see. So yay, so I'll owe 700 stitches for this, and I basically have 3 days to stitch on this. So maybe we'll put in even more or bring a backup project. I might also do that. We'll see. Okay, but yeah, that's my little preview for next episode. That's all I'm about, like all I want to talk about in this video though. So yeah, if you stuck till the end, I guess, yeah, as an emoji, throw me a cake. How fitting, I think. And yeah, look out for the next episode. I don't really know. I think I put in 4 episodes full. Now it's 10 altogether. We'll see. We'll see how many episodes I put into the next one. We'll see. I start editing this video and see how much I have, and either I'll release it now, because today is the 1st of the month, which is also kind of nice. Then I'm a little bit earlier, then I have a quicker video up for you guys. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll just do shorter videos instead of one humongous one, and then we're still a little bit off schedule. I think I'd prefer to get back on my normal schedule and yeah, maybe do 2 next month. Wouldn't that be nice? Okay. Enough of that. Bye-bye. See you later.